Welcome back. Midterms on your money. We're just about 1 month away from the midterm elections, and recent polls suggest that the so-called blue wave may now be more of a red wave or a ripple on the blue side. We're back with Ken Langone right now. And Ken, in terms of the backdrop, we talked about the economy. Do you think that's what people are going to vote on in the midterm elections? This is probably one of the most consequential midterm elections that certainly I've ever seen.
Look, the old saying that people vote with their wallet, I think some of that is good, but I think people today are a lot more sensitive to other issues. In the case of the economy, big win for the Republicans. Big win.
Things are going well.
Unbelievable. 3.7, lowest unemployment rate in what, 50 years?
Yeah, 48 years. Yeah.
Look, Jeff Bezos, by the way, who runs a hell of a company and does a great job.
Yeah.
What he did the other day, in part, is his social believing that he needs to help people, and I agree with him 100%. Income inequality's got to be addressed in this country. It's a serious problem. But I think Jeff's also facing the reality that he's supply and demand. He may not be able to get all the people he needs for all the things he's doing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So at $15 an hour, he's got a better chance of getting them at, I don't know if he was paying them 10, 11, 12, or whatever.
He took it up to 15.
Home Depot, from the day we were founded, never paid minimum wage. Never once paid minimum wage.
You always paid more.
Always $2, $3 an hour more. And promote and give them reviews every year.
And look how positive, like you said, it came back to Home Depot. You got great people to go work there.
Go to our stores.
Yeah.
Go look at the attitude of the kids, the morale, the esprit de corps. Go look at the knowledge base they have.
You know, you look at a company like Home Depot that keeps getting better and better, and then you look at General Electric. We've had news this week on GE, new CEO coming in, the former CEO stepping down after a very short term. You were on the board 6 years, but I know your experience with GE goes way back. You and Jack Welch, you supported Jack in his leadership as the CEO. What are your thoughts?
We were big customers at General Electric, Home Depot. I knew Jack very well, of course, and I still know him. We were very close friends. Larry Bossidy, Dale Fry, John Myers, Dave Calhoun. What are my thoughts? If GE were to get a report card for governance 5 years ago, they'd have gotten straight A's. They should have gotten F's. Where the hell was this board? And by the way, in the spirit of full disclosure, Jeff asked me to leave the board in 2004.
Why?
Because of the interview I'd given Fortune magazine, and I used some colorful words. Okay.
So he asked you to leave the board because of that article.
And by the way, to my good fortune, I stayed. I had a lot of stock in GE. And I kept it for 90 days, so I didn't want to have people saying I sold them, because I had to file a report if I'd sold it within 90 days after leaving. And when the 90th day was up, I got $43 a share for all my GE stock.
Wow.
So I want to thank Jeff in that regard.
Jesus.
On the other hand, I can't believe these pieces he's writing. His latest one is about leadership. And the
Jeff Immelt wrote about leadership.
And the other one is about managing through long cycles. He took the most valuable corporation on earth in the year 2000, and today, in the paper I read yesterday, the possibility that General Electric's bonds might very well become junk status.
Wow.
You're telling me that he did a transformation? He had a big steel ball on a crane, and he destroyed it as if he was tearing down an old building.
How did he do it, though? I mean, what was the biggest mistake in your view? Selling off all the assets?
The board of directors.
Oh.
Hey, we bought we bought Amersham 2 years ago. Here's what you told us the reason was, or the rationale for buying it. Here's the numbers you told us we'd get. It's 2 years. Where do we stand? Alstom. Alstom effectively has been 100% written off. Now, here's the thing that bothers me. Where the hell is the SEC? He was out making all these projections and all these comfort numbers. GE was supposed to make $2 a share this year, the year 2008. Go back and look at the pronouncement.
This is This is pretty stunning numbers that you're bringing up.
Because
it's a tragedy because it was such a successful company.
The tragedy is these poor people that spent their whole lives in GE and believed in Mother General Electric and invested money in the stock. The poor guy out in Indiana that the Wall Street Journal wrote a piece about, he had $700,000 in GE stock that he was going to retire on. He had to go back to work now because the stock is down to like $80,000.
Well, it lost 70% of its value, obviously.
But there's a case of the board asleep at the throttle, and also a leader who wasn't held accountable.
And you were asked to leave the board. Oh, God. Let me ask you about the midterm elections, because I think this whole Kavanaugh mess, this circus that was a circus recently, is one of the reasons that Republicans are getting fired up. I think there's been a change in terms of what people are expecting in the midterms. What do you think?
First of all, I think we'll keep the Senate. If I had to guess, I think it'll be 54-46.
Huh. Okay.
Okay. I think the House, with this behavior by the Democrats, I think there's a better than even chance that if we don't hold on, they'll have a 3 or 4 seat majority.
You see a lot of growth stories in your life and your career. Where do you see the growth right now? If you had to tell a young Ken Langone, go into this industry when you just graduated college, what would it be?
Well, first of all, only go to a job you love doing. I say to kids, the acid test to me, would you pay to go to work? If you say yes, I'd pay to go to work, that's the job you want, because you're going to do well. You're going to at least have a passion.
Gotta love what you do.
I think, number one, healthcare. We're living, well, thank God, the breakthroughs that are coming through. Right, Lilly just announced the other day a drug for migraine headaches.
Ken, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us.
Maria, thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Great time.
And
Always
thank
nice
you.
to be with you.
You're a great American. Thank you so much.
I'm blessed to live in this country.
Yes,
I love this country.
As am I.